He makes her bid for a little piece of history.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Run of the Race. Brittany Taylor and Mark Warwood here with you to review all the action from Saturday on ATA Stakes Day. It was a good meeting, Mark.
It certainly was, and it was a good pointer towards the Perth Cup, which we'll touch upon later in the program, with Action and Mississippi Delta fighting out the finish in the ATA Stakes.
And we have the barrier draw as well that we now have. So that is really put it in the real favour of the Race E.P. All right, let's have a look at all the action from last Saturday, and we begin with the 2-year-old race, and it was won by Rubik Rose.
Is Angel Jupiter. Back on the inside, travelling fourth is Ariane Lass. A length Babarucci, followed by My Hidden Journey, and still the tail end is the Republican. At the 450, they come up towards the home corner, and the 2-year-old Son of Helmet with that distinctive white blaze leads them around the bend. It's Beethoven leading the way. Rubik Rose stalked him, came off the fence, now levelled up with him, Rubik Rose. Rubik Rose, Beethoven quickened. They've quickly put 3 lengths. On behind them, Angel Jupiter at the 150, and now Rubik Rose goes to the lead from Beethoven. It's Rubik Rose pulling away late in the race. Rubik Rose too good for Beethoven, and then Angel Jupiter, but Rubik Rose turns the...
A very deserving victory there for the Karen Kersley trained Rubik Rose. Interestingly though, Mark, when we look at her figures when she finished second to Beethoven last start, this performance, her winning performance, was about 5 lengths slower.
Yeah, that's no knock on her. She won the race, but I'm not too sure that these are the best 2-year-olds that we've seen earlier this year. I think some of those races earlier in the campaign, the one at Belmont and early at Ascot, might be a fair bit stronger. Looking at the file here, I'm willing to forgive Angel Jupiter. Didn't have the nicest of runs, came back with a laceration to its off hock as well. The Forget horse, well, there's a few here you probably could have gone for. I'm going to plump with Hidden Journey. And the Follow horse didn't really want to follow too much out of this race based on my comments off the top, but we all know how well that family has served the Pearce family in Angel Jupiter, and I think the run there was enough to suggest she can win a race or two for them.
Yeah, I think they'll have a little bit of fun with her, as particularly as she gets a little bit older as well. A horse that you have been following right the way through the preparation is the horse that won race 2, and that is Market Ruler.
Market Ruler back last of all is Excise Free, and so as they come along by the 550, and Olivia Knows down on the inside leads the way, 3/4 in front. Running second is Market Ruler, then a length and a half to the Debutante. The Finest is on the inside of DeAngles under heavy pressure. Off its heels, Kiss the Breeze, and he's going to look for the shortest way home with Excise Free. Market Ruler dashes up those sprints well clear, down by the 200, and the filly's bounded away from the Market Ruler. She's over 3 in front from the Finest and Excise Free, and Market Ruler is well clear. She's home for the money. Market Ruler goes on. What a great flag bearer she is for West Speed.
Market Ruler broke Dainty Tessa's West Speed record. Mark, it's crazy to think December of a 3-year-old season, and Market Ruler, who arguably isn't one of Simon Miller's better juveniles early, has made nearly $500,000 worth of prize money.
They found out what works for her, which is 1,000 metres or there or thereabouts. She's won 5 from 5 over the minimum trip, and she's just hoovered up this prize money, and good luck to the Connections. They are one of the better places of their horses. Look, I've been on this horse all the way along. I'm not jumping off. She doesn't make the file, therefore she's not a follow. It's just simply, I think there's a better follow horse here, and that's Excise Free. I thought he probably was a little bit unlucky not to win on Saturday. Didn't have the best of runs, ended up out the back. He's the Forgive horse and the follow horse in this race. The Forget horse, I think, has to be Kiss the Breeze. Jumped at $4, well, opened at $4.40, got out to $7. Wasn't really enough excuses there for mine to be beaten 3 1/4 lengths. It's another horse that's won its races. You wonder where it's going to go to next, and it's the same now for Market Ruler.
All right, the 3rd race was taken out by Vital Silver. Dan and Ben Pearce just continue their phenomenal run of form at the moment, and Vital Silver, one of their stable's top liners, is really putting it together, put 2 wins in a row.
Belong, followed by Bass straight down on the rails, and last of all is McCavity, about 6 lengths off the leader. Vital Silver, the hot pot, will bring them to the home corner. Vital Silver by the 500, 3/4 of a length in front. On the outside of it, King of Chaos just trying to work up now a little closer to apply some pressure, and they've quickly put 2 lengths on Fair Sonari, Platypus, Resistance and Pearl Trade in the middle. Vital Silver as Noski goes to work at the 200 though in front, but King of Chaos will not go away. He tries hard, but Vital Silver responds to the challenge. At the 100 he drops off King of Chaos now. Resistance, Pearl Trade, then Truly Belong late, but another one here for the grey Vital Silver.
Vital Silver got the job done, but this, Mark, was the slowest run race of the day. We saw there the figure -7.4, so they were going pretty slow slow.
Yeah, to the eye, it looked like a fantastic performance from Vital Silver because he led, he was pressured in the straight by King of Chaos, and then he kicked away with that acceleration from the 4 to the 2. But when you actually look at the data, well, he pretty much handed to him on a plate. So he's going to get ratings points for that, and he's going to go on to a high grade of race. I still think he's the follow horse because I think I said a few weeks ago, I thought he's the type of horse that when he gets into a better class of race, might run a really good figure. So he's the follow horse. The Forget horse is Paddle. She's won her race now for quite some time. She finished 8th in this race. I know she had excuses that day. They thought she was a little bit flat. I just think she's probably found her level. And the Forgive horse, yet again, is Truly Belong. But when you went that slow, that early, it was impossible for Truly Belong to win.
All right, from one Peter's runner to the next, let's have a look at race number 4, which was taken out by Royal Command, who, wow, since stepping up in trip has really found his place in races.
Come off the Chewy, back on the inside, running fourth, a length and a half away behind them, Royal Command, and Pike's having to get Industrious on the hot pot as well. They're followed further back by Discoville, and dropping out on the rails is Middle Earth, 400 left to go. About to set sail for the judge, Mrs. Brown's Boy, led by a length and a half on push to pass at the top of the straight. Pulling out now, Miracle Man with its run. Royal Command's a length off it, followed back behind them, Taxagano. At the 200, Mrs. Brown's Boy, tackled by Miracle Man, Royal Command. Royal Command sweeps up now when they've neared the 100 metre mark, dropped a gear or two, bounds away from Miracle Man, Mrs. Brown's Boy. It's going to be an easy victory for Royal Command as Pike sits up and he pricks.
Now, this was an interesting race, Mark, because pre-race, I think most people were the general consensus that it would probably be a fairly slowly run affair. It didn't look to be an awful lot of pace in it. When we have a look at the figure that came out of that race, they were travelling nearly 9.5 lengths quicker than average to the 600, so they've gone pretty quick.
Yeah, guilty as charged. I thought they'd walk in this race. I thought that Mrs. Brown's Boy would lead on his hair. He did lead, but he went minus 9.4 lengths faster to the 600. This is a horse that was pretty much on trial at the trip to go that fast. He is the Forgive horse for mine. He backs up on Saturday over 1,600 metres. I think he's a chance on Saturday. He's not my on top selection, but wouldn't be at all surprised if he won, but I'm forgiving the run in the replay. The Forget horse is Middle Earth, finished last in this race. I just don't know where they go to next with Middle Earth. And the Follow horse, well, we suspected this horse had a fair bit of ability, and the number suggests he certainly does. Royal Command, minus 8.1 to the class, minus 8.6 overall, and he did it easy in the end. He went over the line untouched. He
really did, and I think Adam Durant's always had a really high opinion of this horse, and we just haven't quite seen it, but these figures suggest that he is going to be able to reach greater heights, that is for sure and certain. Okay, we've had a look at the first half of the meeting. We'll take a quick break, and on the other half, we'll have a look at the quaddie legs. Welcome back to the run of the race. We are up to reviewing the ATA Stakes. Now, this is all important because this is a key lead up to this week's Perth Cup. So let's have a look at Mississippi Delta taking out the ATA.
Capo Doro, Mississippi Delta about to peel off his heels and set after them. Mr. Albie down on the inside searching for runners. Capo Doro reaches the lead. Pike had action under heavy pressure back there in the field from Royal Star. Persistence time. Forget it's a him. Capo Doro heads for home. Straightened up in front now. They turn. Anoski has gone for him at the 250. Capo Doro from Mississippi Delta. She starts to run on now. Further back is action. He's finishing on hard. Mississippi Delta with 100 to go. The leader, Action, trying valiantly, but Mississippi Delta kept going by Chris Parnham, will hold Action.
Mississippi Delta winning there, but Action finishing second will be your favourite for the Perth Cup. And for mine, Mark, this was a really good race because it wasn't a gut buster, a perfect lead-in to a race 7 days later.
Perfect if you're on him for the Perth Cup, not perfect if you backed him on Saturday at $2.90. Oh, I said on the broadcast I thought he was a ridiculous price for a horse that had finished 11th in the railway. I didn't think there was a horse in here that would have finished 11th in the railway if they'd started a week earlier. I think he was the Forgive horse here. They didn't go quite hard enough for him to win on Saturday. He's the Follow horse, of course, as well, though. He is a worthy favourite for the Perth Cup, not just because of the barrier draw, but just simply, I think this run just topped him off nicely. The Forget horse, they don't often get it wrong, do the Gunjammies, when they buy these try horses, but I think Heart Starter might have to go in the Forget foal for mine.
Yes, Heart started a little bit disappointing for the Ganjemi team, but I think it's all about action, or the Cerise and White in general, heading towards the Perth Cup. The barrier draw was very, very kind to those top two in action, and Mississippi Delta not so much to the Darren McAuliffe team, who drew the car park. The luck was just not on their side. All right, let's have a look at the next race. This was won by This Away, who we saw a bit of a change of pattern. He was leading.
3 deep, and that's where he's going to stay now for the last 700. Nordic Kings on his inside. Eliza's Dream trailing Crystal Valley from Born Blue. Still well back there. Trump This, the favourite, coming into the home corner. And Truly Gold is last. At the 400 now, they're about to set sail for home. This Away, called upon, boots away from Jaspara, Aura Breeze, Summer Trail battling away from Watch Me Nay Nay. Crystal Valley further back, Reef Keeper. Trump This still about 6 lengths off them at the 200. This Away in front, out by 2 or 3 lengths. Watch Me Nay Nay, Crystal Valley. Trump This is charging down the outside. This Away in front. Trump This, Crystal Valley flying. This Away in front though. This Away, I think This Away.
This Away winning over 1,800 metres there. We see him on the 7-day backup this Saturday over 2,200 metres. What do the numbers suggest here, Mark? Will he be able to get a strong trip like that?
I'm not sure, because the overall figure out this race wasn't particularly good. He did get away with murder up front in what was, I thought, a pretty weak race outside of the horses that finished second and third. I think they'll go on to do a lot better than the rest of the field. That's Crystal Valley and Trump This. I've got my Forgive horse being Trump This. He followed Crystal Valley into the race, which I didn't quite understand. I thought that he'd struggled to run over the top of Crystal Valley in the straight, and that's what proved to be. He's the Forgive horse because of the bar shoe as well. I think he'll be winning a race. The Forget horse is Nordic King. We were suspect about the value of his wins in recent weeks. Well, I think that's the case now. He got beaten 4.5 lengths. Always looking for excuses when he got a horse at $3.20. I just don't think he had any. I just think he'd won his races. And then the follow horse again is Trump This, with a little bit of a note for Crystal Valley as well.
Absolutely. I think those two horses won't be far away, although it hurts if you've been following a horse like a Crystal Valley, but don't fear, there is a win in store. I'm positive of that. All right, race number 7. People who had been thinking that there was a race near, Mad Brad, probably my favourite win of the day. It had been over 1,300 days since this boy saluted. Take a look.
3/4 clear from Gonna Go. Candlelight Star behind them third. 3 deep as well from Red Publisher. Get Over It next on the rails. Mad Brad saved up behind them. Then Delicate Miss. River Dance further back. In Love with Paris and Our Finest Moment on the point of the home corner. And straightening up the leader is Wrinkly. Booted 2.5 in front of Gonna Go. Candlelight Star, Red Publisher. A rails run for Get Over It. Wrinkly's the leader at the 200. Still by 2. Get Over It. He's persisting with the rails run. Gonna Go battling. Here comes Mad Brad down the outside. Wrinkly's in front. Mad Brad trying hard. Wrinkly, Mad Brad, they split it together.
Well, Mad Brad deserved that victory. He'd been running so consistently, constantly running third, and finally found himself in the winner's circle.
Yeah, I was almost going to forget Mad Brad because he hadn't won for 1,378 days, and we'll probably all be 6 feet under before he wins again. But it was a good performance, so I won't put him in the file. I'll put Get Over It in the file, finished 5th, but talking through my kick a little bit here, but this horse travelled into this race like the winner. I wasn't looking at Mad Brad at the turn. I was looking at Lucy Warwick and Get Over It, and didn't get the job done. The Forgive horse is Candlelight Star. They probably didn't go fast enough for him, and he came back lame as well. The Follow horse really struggled to find one here. A bit like Glimmer Girl a couple of weeks ago, who then won out in the provinces. I'm going to go with Gonna Go. Had plenty of excuses on Saturday. I think the trainer, Jason Pateman's got a very good handle on his horses, and he didn't like the blinkers one iota. I think second up without the blinkers over a little bit further a trip and a good gate. He needs a good gate. He could well go close.
And I think it's because he's such a big horse too. I think he'll benefit from that first up run, and we'll see the best of him probably second up and even further into the preparation. All right, one race left to go to review, and this race was won at any old odds by Avidus.
Its rider out of the saddle. Sariska's travelled up okay. Then 3 deep around them. Western King. Schooners on the inside of Send My Love nearing the corner. Pie the 500. Under the whip back there. Invisible Pro. Sebring Spy. Danefin searching for runs, and none of that last. They're about to set sail. Coming into the home straight. Distant Trilogy led the way from Avidus. And over on the outside, Laurentinio, Wild Fusion. Then wider out Ukbar Jack getting up on the fence. Yeah, Bravo. Tycoon Target followed further back in the field then by Send My Love. It's Distant Trilogy with Avidus, the roughie. Distant Trilogy at the 100 mark from Avidus. Over on the inside, yeah, bravo. Distant Trilogy and Avidus, they'll reach the line. There's nothing between them. It's a photo.
Avidus winning there, which I'm sure would have brought a few smiles to the faces of anyone who had backed him at those odds. And gee, if you had him in the quaddie, it paid $170,000. They're the quaddies you dream of.
When you go field, that's what you want. You want to see Avidus win at around $70 on the tote. Doesn't make the forgive or the forget or the follow file. The forgive is Sariska, going to give her one last chance. She had the tongue tie on Saturday. Inconclusive, was held up in the straight. I've got my doubts, but she gets a forgive. A forget is Western King. I think in the Cerise and White, this horse goes around 2 short and finished 9th on Saturday with not too much of an excuse. The follow horse, marginal here, but I'm going to go with Dane Finn. I almost had Dane Finn in my numbers on Saturday. Fastest last 200 on Saturday in that race. I think he just needs to draw a better gate, Drew, gate number 9.
Okay, that is a look at the 8 races that were on Saturday. Mark, when we look at the overall data, the best overall rating, best class rating, what have we got?
Very simple this week. Royal Command, best overall rating of -8.6 and the class of -8.1. We've been waiting for this horse to put up a decent figure. The tempo was on and boy did he deliver, and the way he went across the line was significant. When horses run these type of ratings, they're normally scrubbed along and they're going hell for leather in the straight. This boy just cruised up to them and went past them. I think he is a horse going places. The fastest sectionals, looking at the last 200, Truly Belong, and the 400 as well. She's a regular in this file. And the last 600, I was a little bit worried about the money for this horse for Michael Lane in early markets, excise free, but he clearly has got a good galloper, and I think he'll be winning a race in town in a very short period of time.
Yeah, we've seen the money come for that horse a number of times. It's always been a bit hard to stack up the provincial form, how he would measure up at Ascot, but clearly he will definitely measure up, albeit wasn't quite lucky in terms of how he came out of the gate on Saturday, but there'll be a win in that horse very soon, I have no doubt. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side, we're going to look at the tip star of the week, and let me tell you, it has been a very interesting round, this one. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the run of the race, where it is time to look at the tip star of the week, and we talk about weeks being whether they're moving days or not. This week, when you have naturally a $72 winner in there, was a moving day.
Wasn't just the only big price winner of the day. Of course, we had This Away that paid $20 to win and $4.60 to place. If you had the best possible score, which is all the winners barring race number 3, where you were better off with Resistance for the place, you would have got over 5,500 points, which would have put you right in the mix to win the overall competition.
That is a big, big score. Let's have a look at what this week's winner was able to produce. And wow, 4,774 points. That isn't really that far off the maximum amount. That's a serious result.
Incredible performance by Hansi Money. You may know the name. He's one of the owners of Gatting, the horse that's going to go around in the Perth Cup. I think he might have drawn a few gates for Gatting during the carnival as well. So Mr. Money is his alias, and I was thinking money, money, money. I've been thinking ABBA songs all week. Congratulations, Hasney. Fantastic performance, and the fact you had Avidus at the end, I think you owe Steel Casey a beer.
Wait, I hope he wasn't the one drawing the barrier for Gatting at the barrier draw this week, because his lucks ran out and he drew an awful gate.
No, it wasn't Hasney. Hasney put the cue in the rack. He didn't. He wasn't at the barrier draw.
Oh no! So from now on, we know that luck's definitely on his side. Let's have a look at the leaderboard, and finally, we have a change in the leaderboard.
And it's Hasney. Mr. Money has got 8,115 points. It's more than 1,000 more than the second placed tipper in BJF 77. We've been saying for a few weeks that we didn't think the leaderboard was penetrable, and that one of the top 8 was probably going to take this out, but it's going to take something special now to stop Mr. Money. We're just going to make special note of the tipper here, number 8, Beanie Bijamin. Pretty hard to say. Probably his name's Ben, not too sure. This tipper has finished. Well, he's been going into the final round of the last 2 weeks as the leader, and he's been chinned both weeks. backpike in the last, mate. Just backpike in the last.
That's what he needs to do. Yeah, it's always a bit of a tough go when you go. It feels a bit like a quaddie when you go in and then you lose on the last leg. Hey, you can still win this week, which is the last round, and it's set to be a huge weekend of racing. Let's have a look at one of the features. It's the Summer Scorcher, and in recent years, the Noskies have taken it out.
Shidell now Lucky Street coming with his run, and so is Newton down the outside. Shidell, Rebel King, Lucky Street together. Shidell, Rebel King and Lucky Street. Lucky Street, Shidell kicking. Shidell, Lucky Street. Well back in the field searching for runs. Smoko at the 200, the leader. Here's Potent Secret getting up on his inside. Potent Secret, Smoko now into the clear. Comes Durandell, Dawn Approach and Volkov, but Potent Secret shook them off down the outside. Durandell, but it's Potent Secret. Slip 200 from home, Battle Hero by 2.5 to Kai Perinya, and then Datey Test Celebrity Dreamer running on. Battle Hero tackled by Kai Perinya. Datey Test Celebrity Dreamer. Battle Hero clinging on desperately. Kai Perinya.
Shidell, Potent Secret and Battle Hero winning the most recent editions of the Summer Scorcher, and this week's looks to be a cracker as well.
It's a sensational edition of the Summer Scorcher. Just the 8 runners, 3 of them come out at the same race, won by Snowlord. We've got Ambiente as well. We've got Rebel King coming from the Winterbottom, same as Prophet Street, who I think then went to the Scahill. It's a cracker of a race. I'm with G Boss, but minimal confidence.
All right, let's have a look at the Latrice, one of the other highlights that will come on Saturday, and the last 3 editions.
Further back in the field, Darkwing Shadow, and then Cosmic Storm. Don't like vital importance. Ideal Image is letting down brilliantly. With 100 left to go, she's racing away from the Ideal Image, and she's going to record a super. Ideal Image closing in though, quickly levels up from Tarquin Shadow. Cosmic Storm, he's trying desperately to get around the heels, and now he does. She's into the open, she's coming. Ideal Image, Tarquin Shadow, they're not there for long. Cosmic Storm pounced upon them, hit the lead, and comes away. Dynamite with it. Awesome as back near the rail, inside the 200. Over on the inside, I'm feeling lucky with a kick. Fontainebleau, Silver Stream can't get to them though. It's still the stable mates together, and I'm feeling lucky. Draws away late in the race and has done it all the way.
Ideal Image, Cosmic Storm and I'm Feeling Lucky, the most recent winners of the Latrice. But we saw in that most recent win, Fontainebleau finishing second. She's in with a huge chance on Saturday.
Yeah, the bookies have got this pegged as another, Cerise and White versus Linwood Park stud battle. I think that Fontainebleau is one of the better value bets on the card on Saturday. Celebrity Dream's probably going to jump favourite. Certainly he's the early favourite. I don't think she stays 1,800 metres in the float, let alone on the track. So I think Fontainebleau is going to be hard to beat, and I think Ted Van Heemston family could be having another good day at Ascot Good Times.
I definitely think they could be. All right, here is the big race. It's the one we've been waiting for all carnival, been leading up to it with all these lead-up races. It's the Perth Cup. Let's have a look at the last 3 editions.
Neverland, Dark Musket, Real Love, and now Delicacy. Here she comes. Delicacy under the 59 went to Neverland and Real Love, Dark Musket. to the lead. Star Exhibit boots away. Down the outside coming, however, is Neverland with a late run. Star Exhibit, Neverland, the Peters pair on the inside. It's Star Exhibit, Neverland diving all, don't know. Shintamani, Dark Musket further back, Zarent. Lucy makes her bid for a little piece of history. Coming to the 100, Material Man and Pinamu. He found a run on the inside. He's coming the grey. Material Man, Pinamu, split it. Material Man.
Gee, it's goosebump stuff there. Delicacy, Star Exhibit and Material Man for that little piece of history.
Yeah, look, we've had 2 photo finishes in the last 2 years, and prior to that we had Delicacy, who's one of the best horses we've seen in WA. You know, I suppose post-war was an absolute superstar. Look, I think it'll be another win for Bob on Saturday with Action, and I'm tipping you're going the same way, Britt.
I am. I just thought that barrier draw probably hands it to him on a silver platter. He was very, very lucky with those draws, and the McAuliffe team, who was probably the one who could take it to him, have drawn the car park. So I am with Action. You're with Action. So. Well, Mississippi Delta probably wins then. It always tends to be that way when we all jump on one horse. But no matter what, it is set to be a really great day of racing. It all kicks off at 12:08. It is a 9-race program. It's going to be a wonderful start to this new year, of course, on the new date of January 5. We hope to see you there. If not, we'll see you next week.
She makes her bid for a little piece of history.